In 2016, I made a video on sexual transmutation. Looking back at all of my work over the last 10 years, whether it was online or offline, and really tapping into the deeper aspects of psychology and seeing what it takes to get to another level in my fitness, with clients and breakthroughs, relationships, focus. I've come to see that so much is needed to, so much creative energy is needed to be harnessed to get to another level. Today, I'll be relaunching this channel. I've renamed it to the Hunger Command Protocol. In here at the beginning of 2026, I woke up in a hotel, and the first word that came to me, or the first word that I focused on was, believe it or not, focus itself, the word focus. And I laid in bed for about an hour or two saying this word, focus, in a very meditative energy. And for me, I knew it was time to really step it up in my career and see what I could bring to the marketplace that was my own signature offer, my own signature intellectual property that could encompass my life's work and simplify things in how to utilize peptides or testosterone therapy or nutrition and bodybuilding sciences. And so I went to the library and just put a lot of my ideas down as to what were the key variables as to that drive my performance. And well, I've been over the last 10 years or so, some of my main focuses have been, let's say 2022, as I was going through some deep inner work and healing. I started meditating in the dark and like going into the shower and at first just laying there, right? Like taking a hot bath while the water ran over me. And soon I saw how that was essential to like a deep introspective moment. While I had started meditating formally around 2012, this taking a shower in the dark became a place for me to have a cathartic moment, cathartic experiences. And later, now years later, to like a year or two after that, I bought a stool made of teak wood and started meditating in the dark here in my shower. And that may be trivial, I think, on the surface if you leave it alone, right? You could say, well, that's trivial. And the thing is, it's not, but I'm not gonna delve into why or how just this second. We could put a pin in that conversation. So for the last 2 to 3 years, I've taken a lot of time offline and really enjoyed like privacy, not posting a lot on Instagram, as I took time to develop a personal life. For me, it's not so much that a lot of my life was lived online. I don't want to say that either. That's also an extreme. That wouldn't be true, as much as I was more so sharing my work on YouTube, sharing a lot of my writing on Instagram, and that had its purpose. And then in 2024, as I started becoming more, I developed a personal aspect of my life in a relationship, and I had less juice or less interest in sharing online as I devoted more time to my relationship. Digging a little deeper beyond the 2 years or 3 years from 2024 to now, if we go back to where 2018 or so, when a lot of the videos I still made, even up until 2018 to 2020, around there, 2-3 years, I was really working with the teachings of Wake Up Warrior, doing a lot of stacking and writing. Stacking is a form of writing that is a lot about reframing or taking a trigger and digging deeper beyond the trigger, and not necessarily believing the immediate story, but digging deeper, reframing, looking at things differently, and then picking a more empowering story as to which to look at a situation. And you could say expanding the mind, right? So expanding the mind both through writing and then also through meditation, in addition to working out. And so a lot of my work, or a lot of the healing and internal excavation that came from 2018 till now, focused a lot on meditation and writing specifically. So much so that, let's say, I have about 5,700 pages of journal entries over the course of 9 years, through COVID, through the death of my father, through the building of a team, through just really intense things. Writing was always there. I think that without the writing, without the stacking, I probably would have not made it to this moment here, where I had enough sort of it was almost a foundation of resilience and strength that the writing helped me develop. It helped me develop the framework or the beams that were that which holds up my mindset of adaptation, of resilience, of a consistent adaptation. Those are some of the things that the writing and the meditation allowed. When I look at this channel, the top 3 videos have been about, let's say, a relationship going nowhere, friends with benefits, when to walk away. Let's say modafinil, right? Ultimately, the main videos that are still watched this day revolve around, if you really look at the core wound, or the subtext, however you want to say it, it deals with people wanting to really own their energy, or not give away their agency. It could be to doom scrolling, it could be to a friends with benefits, it could be to even thirst traps or pornography or whatever. At the end of the day, it looks like the quiet wish that people really want is to be a master of their own temple. And again, we live in a time where things like this can be sort of woo-woo, or the temple and things like that. And I think a lot of when I work with clients, I think that one of the things they do resonate with me or see in me is that I can use a word like temple, and I'm not trying to be woo-woo about it. I really do mean that. I do use the word temple quite literally, like the temple. This is your temple where God is, and you are, and your soul is. And I don't necessarily have to, wear a crystal and things like that. And I think that level of right down the middle is what people need and secretly do want. Okay, so moving on. And so going back to I went to where we were, then I took a look back, and now come back to where we are in 2026. And so when I put together what's known as the Hunger Command Protocol, it is me refining and simplifying an offer I made in 2024. The name of that offer at the time was the Superior Man Project. Now, the Superior Man Project is pretty much everything I was doing with Wake Up Warrior, plus fitness, plus a diet, which is basically what I do, right? So I was trying to give people my tools that I use for growth. And I think they're a bit excessive for most people, like journaling, stacking, meditating. For most people that want to enter the fitness work or to get in better shape, that's kind of advanced. And I don't mean that in any way, shape, look, that means I'm advanced. No, I mean that just what I discovered. So I signed up with one guy, he was doing great, and then he just kind of got overwhelmed, I think, with the work and the writing and things like that. So in 2026, about 2 years later, I said, how do I take this work, and I know it works, but how do I make it simpler? And so I sat down and I said, well, look, why am I able to work training for years and years? hours, every hour, every day, a few hours. Why am I able to do that? And I said, well, the key thing is that I believe that I have to do it. I believe that it's a must. I believe that it's what I do. So then I said, okay, well, the first thing is identity. That's clearly what is essential. And then I went up the pyramid and started establishing the levels of the variables or components that create a fitness program. So the Hunger Command Protocol is a pyramid that simplifies what I believe and see and have tested to be my fitness program. My fitness program is built on this pyramid. It's not very fancy per se, but I think it's a clean cut framework from which to apply. It doesn't mean there's not other frameworks. I'm not here to directly, or I don't have a framework to compare mine to. This is the one that I have seen is what mine is built on. And so I woke up today and I'm excited again about making these videos. And I said, I told my girlfriend, I said, look, so much of what this pyramid, it's boundaries, and it's establishing a mindset within and protecting that mindset. I think that if you look at social media, so much of it is always trying to catch your attention and change your emotional state, change your hormonal landscape within you, like your consciousness, your basically energetic state, so that you can be in a position to buy or feel less than. And some people could even say that's a psyop, right? If you want to go a little deeper, but without getting caught on a tangent, one of the taglines of this program is you're not weak, you're leaking. Meaning, I woke up today with an amazing mindset because I protected my mindset and set boundaries boundaries from social media. And even today I got on social media a little bit, and immediately there's just like this sort of like, let me close my eyes so I can come up with the words, helps me sort of search within. And it's as if it's like, as certain as I was that I wanted to produce this video and this moment here with you now, because I got on social media, those emotions started stirring within me. It takes me slightly out of momentum. And that's from me, who's got a lot of clarity. I know I have a framework, I have intellectual property, I have clients that I help, I have a channel, I have subscribers. And when I say even me, I'm saying like there's people that don't have that. And so it's not shocking that they're gonna lose their momentum if they get on social media, right? Imagine somebody that is not in shape and they're eating donuts and they are doom scrolling all the time. They're kind of addicted to the doom scroll. Does that make sense? I'm giving you kind of a counter to compare myself and this hypothetical person so that you can see what I'm getting at. That as certain as I was that I'm gonna create this video, and I did, and I am doing it. I'm gonna go get a wire. I revamped my Yeti mic here. I got my little notes as to what I'm gonna talk about. You can say that's a leak, right? Those are little leaks. And then there's big leaks that keep people from really getting that zest. So many people want power, or they want a higher level of consciousness, or a vibrational state, or more influence, right? But it's difficult to achieve that when we have these micro leaks, or even leaks that are consistently eating away at our self-esteem and our self-confidence and our momentum, right? So something to think about there, and we're gonna get into that in this channel. I can't cover that all. I wrote here, you don't fight the hunger, you command it. The hunger is still there. What changed is who's in charge. The force didn't go away, okay? So discipline is conserving your attention, energy, and bandwidth, and aiming all of it at your higher work. So that's, you could say, the main idea of the Hunger Command Protocol. It is a pyramid and framework from which you, if you wish to engage with me, work with me, you can use this tested and proven pyramid that starts with identity, goes up to sleep and recovery, goes into nutrition, weight training, cardio, and then ultimately hormones, GLPs, peptides, etc. so that you have a balanced program that you can find where you're at. It's like nobody's protocol is 100% the same, because some people are stronger than others. Some people are going to want a different combination of GLPs, testosterone, performance enhancing drugs, and things like that. So there's no one size fits all. But the pyramid itself is a way to sort of almost create a checklist as to where are you with this, where are you with this. Let's say sleep, I wear a whip strap. Today I'm at 70% in the green, and I want to sleep late listening to this composed music of piano and stuff, it's kind of a leak. It's a leak, right? It's a leak, but it's not as bad as a leak as it. I didn't drink. I woke up sober. I woke up grateful. But imagine those days where maybe you do drink, or you wake up after a considerable leak and you're less energized, you're less charged, you have less clarity. To give you contrast. Anyway, I want to close up with, well, a lot of coaches are selling sort of only the body. My objective in my work, first and foremost, even the deeper I dig, is breaking the curse of obesity, the curse of bad health in my family. My dad died of complications in diabetes. He never looked at his health, and in many ways, he could have benefited from a pyramid like this. He could have benefited from commanding his hunger, right? He in many ways had too many leaks. So in many ways, my work is a correction of how I saw my dad live. And I don't mean that ugly. I hope that he's proud of me. And before he died, I think he said he was, or he told me he was. So this isn't a judgment on my father. I love him, and you say that that's why this work is somewhat challenging, because this is the truth, and but I've said it enough times where I kind of just can face it. But yeah, look, I wanted to give you an invitation. If you look at the link below, there's an invitation to a community I'm building on school.com, and it's the Hunger Command Protocol School, and that's where I'll be working with people like yourself. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, and or through me making you a program online to implement this protocol, I'll be there, and I'll show you what you got to do that. Like I said, the pyramid at this point, I'm not a new trainer. I'm not new to the game, and I do this for a living on a daily basis. So I can guarantee the results. At this stage, I'm pretty much looking to work with top tier clients that aren't looking to bullshit. Let's say you're new to training, and I would say this, that if you're new to training, you can work with me. Let's say the average age I look to see myself probably working with is like 34 to 55 years old. It doesn't mean that I won't work with you if you're younger. It's just, I do work with people that are younger than that, and then 35 or 34. It's that typically, I'm looking to work with professionals that have very little time to bullshit, and they want something proven, and they want a coach that is experienced and just like, this is my work, this is what I do, and I'll guarantee it. So the link below, you can comment the word protocol too on this video, and I'll personally reach out, but the link for the school is below. That'll probably be the quickest way for you if you want to just join that free community. My name is Jacob Adams. This has been fun, and I look forward to making more videos. Bye.